So one patty has
70 is a good one.
370 milligrams of sodium per serving, and it has, the protein is 19 grams, whereas this protein is 20 grams. And then also I found this Pure Farmland.
Never heard.
Yeah, and this one is 220 calories, which is lower calories, but the sodium is 420. So this is the highest sodium content, and then it's only 16 grams of protein. And the thing I found when I cooked this particular brand was it broke down into like tiny little particles. It didn't hold a nice clump like when I did the Beyond Beef. That had a really nice kind of hamburger quality to the way it broke down in the dish. So
what's the main ingredient for this one? Pure?
The ingredient in this one again is soy.
Okay.
Yeah. So and you know, again, all the ingredients are back there. So I just wanted to show you a couple different options. And so far, I really like the Impossible Burgers when I just want a little burger. And then
like it better than Beyond.
But for cooking, so far I've had the Beyond Burger. And
what'd you say about Beyond Burger?
That's been my favorite for cooking, like for yeah, to break down into a dish, like if I want to do spaghetti or, you know, hamburger stew or something like that with a meat-based plant alternative. Okay.
But so you don't like a Beyond Burger patty? You don't like their patties for a hamburger?
I just haven't tried it yet. I bought Impossible Burgers. They were on sale, 4 for $2.50 or four for $2.50 or 4. Anyway, something like that.
Okay.
Really good price, and so I stocked up on those that time. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with my meat alternative. And you can see these are my ingredients for the bell peppers. I did the spring onions from my garden, and this is some Anaheim pepper, and then the Padabo pepper, some zucchini here. And then we've got the peppers, and you can see I've already taken and opened them up to get them ready. And then and when I do it, what I found is I should get my apron on.
Looks like you gutted them.
Yeah, I already. The first time I cooked them, I sliced it straight off the top to make a nice little bowl. And this time I decided to more core it. So when I cored it, I got a top like that. But whereas if you take the top off, you get more of a bowl. So, and this is a nice bowl shape. So when you're buying them, it's nice to get that kind of shape more so than this kind of odd
Okay.
shape. So again, to open it up, I found that if I just kind of try to keep the knife tilted inward, I can core the pepper a little better. So I just take the core out.
Oh yeah.
And then I have my little debris bowl. And just take this out. And I'm making a couple. So this is like a double batch. I'm making some for my neighbors, and then I'm taking some down to my parents when I go watch them next time. So you just kind of want to clean out the middle. And then we'll just core this one too. You can use a spoon if you like. I just kind of get in there with my hands. Okay. Okay, so those are ready now. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take a little olive oil into my pan. And, you know, the Beyond, the meat alternative doesn't have a lot of fat in it that you would find in a regular, you know, hamburger. And so you do want to coat your pan with a little bit of oil. And so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to break it up just to see how it breaks up. And, you know, for us, people who are coming from a meat-based diet, it's kind of nice just to once in a while be able to kind of have something that's similar to a familiar food that we once really enjoyed. Now, so
This is
Yvonne,
impossible, right?
Yvonne, take your plastic away from the burner.
oh,
Yeah.
I need my coaches. But this is kind of weird because I'm finding this little white stuff in here. So I'm kind of wondering, what is that? I wonder if it's tapioca or a dehydrated onion or.
It is impossible.
No, this is
In
called,
the Morning Star,
yes.
right? The Morning Star. Okay,
Off the lid,
it's very lean looking.
yeah,
Like
this is
thin.
called, no, this is called
Yeah, it's by Morning Star,
incognito.
right? But it's by Morning Star.
It is by Morning Star Farms.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm just gonna stir this around. So you can see that's kind of browned nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my garlic. And then this time, I don't think I put in the recipe before, I'm adding some zucchini. The zucchini is kind of nice when you're making a larger batch, and it kind of creates a nice place to put the flavor. And then of course I've got my peppers. I did 2 Padavo and then 1 Anaheim pepper.
Are they hot?
These are considered more mild peppers. They do, the Padavo have a spice to them, but they're not a hot pepper. You know, they
Okay.
don't register much on the, I forget what the scale's called. And then this is spring onion scallions from my garden. And I'm just gonna let this cook together. I made my rice yesterday, so that's why I've got it all ready here. And I was thinking what Sally makes with the Tucci dehydrated rice. You could make that with the flavor packet, and just use that and stuff the bell pepper and put it in the oven, cook it for about 20, 25 minutes. And that would be delicious. So, it's not a specific recipe for stuffing your bell peppers. It's, being creative and thinking about what you'd like to put in there. One thing I realized with my mom, since her stroke, she doesn't remember a lot of her recipes. And she was never a cook to write things down. She knew everything. And that's a whole wealth of knowledge that we don't have because my mom didn't write her recipes down. Okay. So you can see this is cooking nicely now. I'm going to add a little splash of water. That'll just help to give it some moisture and keep it softened. Now I've got the oven preheating at 350. So that's looking really nice now. And I've got 4 cups of rice here. So I'm adding all the rice to this. I'm gonna turn down my heat a bit.
I hear a fly in here.
And just go ahead and
Different kind of fried rice.
yeah, and you know, like if you have like leftovers after you fill the peppers, because you know, I'm doing 8 bell peppers. I've got 2 to my neighbors, I'm taking 2 to my parents, and then I'm having some friends over for dinner. So I'm having 4 for dinner tonight. So that's what one nice thing is, you could cook something ahead. And then whenever I make a nice dish like this, I always make sure I make some to take to my neighbor. And again, just a little bit more moisture. So this is mixed really nicely together. It's got a nice mixture of color from the peppers and the zucchini and the garlic. And you notice I didn't add a lot of spices simply because there's a lot of flavor coming from the garlic, the onion, the peppers, and the meat alternative. So this is all mixed up very nicely together. And now I'm going to stuff them. And the stuffing is the simple part. I just take this knife, this spoon, and then you just start to stuff them. Kind of mash it down a bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn down turn off my thing. And so you just kind of fill them up. And what's nice after they cook, you cook them for about 20, 25 minutes. It's nice if you put a little bit of water into the base of the pan. That just helps the pepper not burning or sticking to the bottom of the pan. And it just helps kind of to create a little bit of a steaming and cooks
Keeps it from drying out, huh?
Yeah.
Only 20 to 25 minutes will be done.
I would check it then, and depending on the softness, because all your ingredients are cooked. So it would take, I would estimate out 20, 25 minutes. It could be 30, 35 if your oven cooks a little bit longer. And also as to how al dente you want your pepper to be. So when I did mine for, I think it was 35 minutes, my pepper was nice and soft. Because you don't want it to all mush up and fall apart, and then you don't want it to be like hard and crunchy. It's just like that nice softness. So I would just check the pepper and to fill it in. Then you know sometimes you might want to stuff it down a little bit better to make sure that it's in there nice. And again, I've got my stove off. Okay. And some things that might be nice on the side would be a nice, garden salad. And I actually was watching a recipe for avocado flatbread, where they used avocados and made a nice flatbread with the avocado base, and cilantro. And then they made the dough and then made the flatbread out of that. I thought, ooh, that would be delicious with something like this. Or cornbread would be good too.
Right. Avocado flatbread.
Yeah, I just saw that and I thought, ooh,
Delicious.
yeah, that could be another experiment for our kitchen.
Mhm.
So you can see I got these little, little individual pans, and these are nice for when you're going to be, taking the food to someone's home or, giving it to them.
Wow, 4 cups rice goes a long way.
It goes a long way, yeah. So my parents, they share a pepper because they're 90. So but they just loved it. And I was so surprised because I did not think they would like this. And they were like, oh, we love this. So I got some bonus points that day.
Yay.
Yes, it's there's nothing better than to bring happiness into someone's life just by simply cooking a meal. And you can bring so many like memories into someone. Like, you can make a cookie that takes them back to their favorite Christmas, or
Mhm.
make a pie that puts them in grandma's kitchen on a summer day when, you're out running around picking blackberries. Just it's amazing how food just ties you into so many different moments in your life. Now, the one thing I should have done was pre-cooked them, but I didn't. But we do have the picture of them that we photographed, and they're just delicious when you put them all together. And it's just such a nice blending of ingredients. So, for presentation, you can always make sure and wipe the little excess off. So you can see how one package of the meat alternative, and then I used 2 of the peppers, a zucchini, and 1 Anaheim pepper, and a couple cloves of garlic. And I mixed them all together with 2 scallions, and stuffed them all in the bell pepper.
Used it all.
And
Wow, that's a lot.
yeah,
She pretty
so
much used it all too.
yeah, we've made
Oh,
8 bell peppers with a little bit left over that we could always use for another extra meal. We will put them in the oven. So I've got the oven at 350, and I'm gonna check them at like 30 minutes. And if they need more time, I'll leave them in longer. If not, I'm finding my oven kind of cooks fast. So in 30 minutes, they'll be all ready.
That's wonderful. They give me some ideas.
Yeah.
Somebody said we can use the instant rice. I can pour instant rice, a packet into instant rice, and then pour some water to it. Then bake.
What I would do is I would mix up the instant rice individually and stuff the prepared instant rice into the bell pepper. I don't think it would work so well to try to figure out a teaspoon of instant rice and like to portion out per bell pepper.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm too lazy. If you have these individual packets, I'm just gonna put the whole packet in and pour hot water into it. Bake.
Uh-huh.
Well,
So how do you,
See how that
you
works
take-
for you, Sally?
I don't
taking
know.
those to your mom and dad?
I'm sorry?
If you take those to your mom and dad and your neighbors, how do you tell them to reheat them?
When I take them over to my neighbors, I just I cover it with foil, and I will say just put a little bit of water into the very bottom of it because they've already been cooked, so they just need to be reheated. So I would say 350 for 10 minutes to reheat them.
Okay, that's what you do with your parents when, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, a lot of people reheat in the microwave, But I kind of like I like the way food works better when I reheat it in the oven. I haven't
Yeah.
done the air fryer yet. A friend of mine was like, well, she reheats everything in her air fryer.
Okay.
Like pick your technology.
I haven't really, except I bought a used air fryer, the very first generation, the very old one. And then in the secondhand store. So I only use that for French fries. Nothing else I know how to cook with the fire. So maybe somebody will show us use the air fryer one day.
Maybe.
I haven't even used one yet. I bought it and it's still in the box in my shed. And actually, you could probably cook these in the air fryer.
Oh, you should try one and tell us.
I should.
Yeah, and then let us know. Well, otherwise I would just put in microwave. That's my way of the cooking. Well, thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
love
Yvonne. That was
it.
great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We
Thank
loved
you.
it.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.